All right, chat has spoken, and we are going to play some M20 today, and we're going to go best of 3 here. But before we jump in, we're going to talk Card Kingdom, as I always do, because Card Kingdom is my sponsor. You can check out their website via my affiliate link down below and let them know you got there from me. And you can spend there from my link and let them know you bought there from me, even better. But mainly, I just want you to keep Card Kingdom in your rotation for any physical magic purchases you're considering, or any physical magic selling you're considering doing. You know, they're not number one on every price at all times, but they are number one on so many prices so much of the time. It would be just leaving value on the table not to keep Card Kingdom in your loop when you're looking at things to buy and things to sell in the Magic world. They got everything you need. And I really appreciate that they support my stream, so please go check them out and keep them in mind when you're doing your Magic shopping. Thanks for that, Card Kingdom. Yeah, I'm going to turn off there. Wink. And we will update my 69-0 record to 0-0. We're going to go M20 best of 3. We haven't started drafting yet, and it's 28 after. I have 1 minute to start drafting, or I've taken a half hour to start drafting. Oh, I think I just turned chat off for a different purpose yesterday. Cutting it close, cutting it close. There you all. Now you're back. Whew. Just got there. Oh, I know, Rocky, but even if you come here for more than the drafts, certainly I have a personal goal of getting my draft going before 9:30. All right. We have a Mystic Forge, which would be just a gem pick. It's it's unplayable, so this would be gems only, which we could do. We're not actually passing that much. We have a Blood for Bones, a Weaponsmith, and a Shock as the only Unsummon. Unsummon is growing in my estimation. Oh, Deckmaster, why is that closed? Maybe my machine restarted and I wasn't. Oh, is that one of the bans today? I didn't look too closely at the B&R. Yeah, it's possible that's what happened. Yeah, I think this is a gems pick. Best of 3, we're even more inclined to gem pick, and especially pack 1, pick 1, where we don't even know what we're doing yet. I think I would take it. I think I would take Blood for Bones over Weaponsmith, but we're gonna take the gems here. And I've had there's one user, one YouTube viewer keeps questioning in the YouTube comments my decisions to chase gems over picks for my deck, thinking that the picks for my deck would produce a higher gem EV. I don't think that's the case. I'm not going to get into it right now. I want to present a more full data-driven case. But the bottom line is the value of a pack 1, pick 1 that you don't even know if you're going to play over a guaranteed 20 gems is actually not as gem valuable as you think it is. This Blood for Bone, you know, stuff that does combo-y stuff can reach that level, but like a single narrow removal spell like Shock, definitely not. We could debate these versus Forge, but I think Forge is fine, especially pack 1, pick 1, knowing we don't know where we're going. So like if we've taken that Shock and now we're looking at a Lich and we're not playing Shock and Lich, that's exactly why I'm willing to lean into gems, pack 1, pick 1 as we figure out where we're going to be. And here I definitely want the Lich. Lich into Boreal Elemental or Lightning Stormkin. Boreal goes in the 2-colored Lich deck. Brawler is great, but Boreal is goes along with the Lich and is single colored, so we're going to grab that. I guess we just take the Vulture. I was looking at Reduce as potentially like the best card in the pack, but Vulture goes along with what we've drafted so far, so we'll take it. Shock still in the pack here makes me think red is looking on the open side of things, but we have a Bone Splinters and a Metropolis Sprite as playable blue-black, and I think I probably want to go there. This is a fine start towards blue-black, and if we take Shock, we're basically saying that we're probably not playing 2 of these cards, and I'm not ready to say that when there's a pick like Bone Splinters here. So I'm just going to take the Splinters, maybe try and wheel the Sprite. Maybe I should take the Sprite, try and wheel the Splinters. But I think I'll take Splinters. I'm going to stay on target here, color-wise. And now we get a nice Fenlurker reward for that. There's another Splinters, but this is fantastic. Smuggler, again showing that perhaps red is where we want to be with this. We could take this now, but Blood Burglar is playable. I don't think we want to be Servants. I've only ever been Servants in like blue, black, green, but I think we just take a Burglar. Yeah, Curve Filler is fine here. Let's make sure we stay in our main color, and I'll take Blade Brand on that front as well. DC, you can keep those stats. Depends on, like, if you would keep those stats, you have to ask yourself how you're going to use them and what it's going to tell you. Without... I mean, the results of a given event where I have gem drafted aren't going to tell you a thing. You could probably, maybe if you combed through my records over time, compare results of drafts where I've not gem drafted at all versus ones where I've gem drafted and see if there's a win percent difference, but I don't know if you'll get statistical relevance there either. I just think you're sniffing down a trail that's not going to tell you anything meaningful, is my fear of that. Yeah, like maybe we should be looking for red or green at this point, because red and green have seemed really open, but black has been there as well. We're going to take Raptor here. Maybe I could have taken that Befuddle. Befuddle is fine. It's not great, but it's fine. And while we may be in the wrong pair, I don't see anything in the non-Denizen cards that makes me want to take them over a possible playable like Denizen. Possible. You know. Well, it's a good sign, at least, that the bottom of the pack is filled with black and blue cards that are somewhat playable. Mind Rot, not so much, but I've played all 3 of these, and might even take another Burglar. No Thieves yet is the problem. What do y'all think of this one? We could also take a Sea Serpent, but also, given that we're not super happy with blue, and these aren't amazing blue cards, I think we take the Burglar and continue to stay open in terms of whether we're even blue. I don't want to even marry blue yet, so we'll take the Burglar. Here's a Servant that is allowed in my deck. Best of 3. I'm going to Zephyr Charge over Duress in the best of 3 context. Hey, Stone, I'm doing okay. How are you? No Dread Presence. We have a Shared Summons that we could rare draft. This is a context, though. So now we're in a place where we know what colors we are, or like so we know that we're black. So Siphon becomes, like, if this were pack 1, pick 1, I think I would just grab the Summons. But now that we know where we are, I'm more inclined to go here or here with this pick. Probably just Siphon. Again, although blue was cut so hard, I expect we'll see some blue heading this direction. But I'm going to take Siphon here, and maybe we snap up a bunch of blue in this pack since it was cut so hard. But I wouldn't expect it in pack 3 if we do decide to stick with the blue side of things here. Somebody called for Dread Presence and Mono Black. Well, all right. I'm going to take the Dread Presence over this Elemental. Cutthroat. Probably just another Vulture. And we'll look to get more recursion going. Probably Leyline for the gems here. Although we could also take Smuggler and keep backdoor red options. Yeah, Necromancer's all right, but we'll get those. Necro might even wheel, or we might get a second one somewhere and not even have to play 2. I think we want fixing. Yeah, we could take the backwater, but I think I do love casting my spells. I'm going to take gems, though. Gems narrowly over land. Although we only have 3 of those, so we're going to go craft that. Okay, here we go. We got to pick now. Elemental or more Vulture. I think we just take the Elemental and be heavy black, light blue. This is a great light blue card, right? Yeah, 3rd Elemental. Can't turn it down. Here would help with the mana, which I think I like more than a random early flyer in blue, when really what I do want to be heavy black. Got a Fenlurker, you know, be heavy black, light blue here. Probably not play this. Like, I like the look of this a lot. We want to lean into Dread Presence, so yeah, I like Evolving Wilds here. Evolving Wilds also lets you kill 4 toughness creatures with presence. Yes, if you keep the Evolving Wilds on the battlefield as a instant speed swamp, you can wait until you have a swamp to play from in your main phase and then crack your wilds for another swamp. Piranhas. I really don't think we're playing Piranhas with what we're trying to accomplish here. We can get Barony Vamp or Raptor. We have 1 Raptor. We might play it. And if we get a Pattern Matcher, it'd be nice to have Elemental and Burglar, Vulture, and something else. So at least it's I'm going to take it on the Pattern Matcher spec. Well, we would play some 3-drops, but I never feel like I need a Barony Vampire. I'm gonna take the Raptor. Yeah, if we open Sorin, I'm sad, but even then, I'm not that sad. Here we're gonna grab. This is best of 3, so Blight Beetle is a real sideboard card, but we don't have any skeletons yet, and I don't want to end up in this draft with 0 when we have 2 Vultures and a Bone Splinters and a Blade Brand. So let's grab Skelly while we can, and we know we can, and Bone Splinters becomes a little better on the wheel with the Skelly. There's that uncommon dude, but I don't think that's better than Bone Splinters, especially because we can probably pick up another skeleton from here. That's my plan. Here's a beetle we can throw into the board. Cutthroat over Epicure, although we do have a double Blood Burglar, but I don't think we're ever playing. This is not a priority at all. We'll take Cutthroat. No, I don't think the bots draft differently. That wouldn't be worth the work. I mean, if they set it up so that they were just tracking the data from humans and then just put them in the appropriate queue, I suppose that wouldn't take too much work, but I still don't think they would even bother because it's not going to produce a result that's that noticeable from the community. And so even if it's a light amount of work, I don't think it's work they would invest in. I think we have a charge in the board. I'm not sure how many we would run. Well, I was trying to be light on the blue, but I don't know how you don't just take an Attempsis and... Ugh. I mean, we take another... This is an interesting pick. I mean, there's a strong argument for just saying the Boreal Elemental is better here. Like, this is a 6 mana 4/5 for the most part. The draw 2 is real, but you're mostly attacking with your 4/5 flyers. I'm high on gems, but I actually think this is the correct color. I'm going to make a very disciplined... It's probably not disciplined enough. I should probably be making the disciplined gem pick, but I'm going to take the elemental. I think it goes perfectly with what we're actually trying to do. I saw this and thought it might be a pattern matcher. No pattern matcher. Maybe we'll wheel another sideboard card against black or another Bone Splinters, but I think we maybe go with Prophet here. Untap, draw 3 cards. Yeah, no. We're not... we might main deck the Prophet. I don't know if we'll main deck a third Splinter. We might if we get another... If we get another Skeleton, then I would play 3 Splinters. But we'll probably wheel the Splinter. So we could also take a potential splash card here. But now we're solidly kind of splashing the blue. I think we just take Octoprophet and wheel the Beetle. But yeah, we may not play this. We really want to be about our black. And here I like Thief number 1 over Siphon number 2 over Gems. Could just take Gems, but I think, yeah, we'll go first Thief. Sage's Row is pretty bad. That's why it is in the board. But if you're in a super grindy control deck, Sage's Row can just be a win condition. Ooh, I really want a Soul Salvage. Do we risk not getting a Soul Salvage? Because there is a Siphon. All right, we'll take Salvage. We really want a Salvage. We just need a Salvage, and we don't want to end up without one. That was a tough disciplined pick, but we made it. Never playing Bone to Ash, never playing any of this. I guess we'll take Barony Vamp for the Sorin we're going to get past right now. We could take a Prismite if we thought it's possible we're running a 2. I guess actually I'd be more likely to play Prismite than a Barony Vampire, actually, so I'm going to take the Prismite. Yeah, I could take Vault Progress, but I generally don't do Vault Progress when there's any kind of playable in the pack, and it's possible, it's remotely possible that Prismite we decide we need, and I want that available. Also, we're in best of 3, where even if we board it in, we may face an aggro deck where we're quite happy to bring in a generic 2-powered 2-drop to, to match up with what Oppo is doing, but fantastic Siphon here, making up for the one we missed. Fantastic Thief here, but we have to give up a Skelly number 2. I think Thief number 2 is better than Skelly number 2, so we're going to do Thief, but that's rough. Another Cutthroat. Oh, we didn't get the first one. I guess we took some... Oh, no, there is. It's just in here. Well, we'll put that... We'll think about it. Jungle Hollow. Blade Brand, I guess. Here's the Splinters that came around, but here's the Blight Beetle. Let's just take another Blight Beetle, and we have a great sideboard plan against green. Well, good. You want another Splinters? I don't think we're getting another Skelly, so I don't think I want 3 Splinters. We're not actually doing that much in the token making. Basically, these Splinters are, if we don't do skeletons, they're actually quite difficult to make work. It's not that I don't think it will out of that pack. It's not like we took this. It's not like we passed a skeleton pick 2. It was like pick 6 or 7. Like, I really don't think we will. I'm not going to count on it anyway. If we wheel it, fantastic. 2 skeletons for our 2 splinters, even better. But I'm not going to take the 3rd splinters here. I will take 3rd Blood Burglar over War Chief, though. Really tightens up our early game. Makes it quite reliable. We did bring in duress once against finishing instance. And like I said, I thought even Vault Progress is all well and good, but anything that we might bring out of the board I think is more valuable. So I'm actually going to take this. This Vampire's not seeing our deck. Neither is this one, really. Sure. Oh, we do have a ley line to go craft. Yeah. I think we already had the forges. The ley line is the only one we needed to... There's another rare... We have the Dread Presence as well, but we also have 4 of those. Five cuts, and we are at 21-7 in our ratios. Let's start with the worst creatures we can find. So cut, cut, cut. Pretty easy. 1, 2, 3. Start there on the cuts. We could cut Octoprophet as not really worth the quote splash here. And then we get down to just 1 cut needed. We cut the Prismite, and boom, we have a deck. I think that's just it. Fastest deck building in the West, and I think this is correct here. 10-6 with a Wilds. All right, this might be the fastest deck building we've ever done. I'm gonna call it speed build. And this deck is... Here, we'll make Dread Presence our... One more island cut, you think? I do want to get Lich on time, but we can probably go to 5. Yeah, and it is... The Dread Presence makes that arguable, and also we have to get the right kind. Almost speed build. I'm finding a way to make it take some time. Don't worry. Whoa. All right, we'll go with this. What do you think about par on this one? Seems pretty strong. We don't have a ton of removal. We have the Bone Splinters and the Dread Presence and a couple of Siphons. That's decent. We just don't have any Murderer, really, is I guess what I'm realizing. And I guess I'd put par here at... I expect to win 2 with this. I think maybe this is good enough to call 2.5 par even. I'd be really disappointed if we don't get some gems back on this one. I'm going to keep this. Hey, Devore. These blood burglars aren't amazing, but I do like them all coming down ahead of the thief and just occupying Oppo's early defenses to make thief a little better. Well, we can't do much about that for one turn at least. But we're going to get our cards unless they do something about our thief, so we'll see what they manage. I expect them to follow with an elemental while they can, though, and we need to find a land so that we... Ooh, not an elemental. And they're out of land. Fascinating. Fascinating. Well, we've got the old soul salvage, so I'm going to go attack. Hopefully we find a land. Send them both. They can block however they want, and if we find a land, we get to pick off one of these two. No, not a land for us, but we do get another thief. Croker's looking for heuristics on mana. I think mostly you should be 9-8 towards your heavier need, but you should be looking towards what your deck wants to do early, in particular, to help decide whether you should nudge away from 9-8. That's my quick, no soapbox, middle of the game heuristic tip. What is your reason for not doing 9-8? And that reason should be either synergies like we have in terms of our rare, or a recognition that we want to do that early on. That, you know, that this is a... What do you want to do with your deck early? Hey, Amazonian, thank you for that raid. 272 coming in. Welcome to the stream today. Glad you're all here. We just drafted a pretty nice, heavy black, light blue M20 deck here. The crown jewel is our Dread Presence at the top, that we got. Pack 2, pick 2. Kind of built around the presence from there. Looking for another land so we can pick off its reef before it gets completely out of hand, although it does mean so we found our land. I think I'm not going to mess around here. I'm just going to siphon the reef to get it off the board and then pass. I don't want to kill the Crasher. I want to kill their card advantage engine, and we'll use Blade Brand to kill the Crasher eventually. I don't want to kill the Crasher yet. We'll kill the Clasher. I plan to kill the Crasher with Blade Brand, and I'm going to put a stop to any value engines right now. I think that's fair. And if they want to swing at us, that's fantastic. Yeah, we have Cutthroat, we have Blade Brand. But all of that can wait until after the witch is dead. I mean, that's fantastic. Like, they want to attack us down to 22? No problem. Now we get Blood Burglar and the Blade Brand at minimum. I don't really think we... Actually, I was trying to keep my, quote, mana open, but it's possible we draw Fenlurker, and there's nothing we can draw in blue that we... I guess we could cast... Yeah, we're not going to draw anything that we want to cast in blue, but we might draw the 2-drop creature, so let's do it this way. I wanted to draw deeper into the deck. We're not playing we're missing land drops, so drawing was appealing to me. Cutthroat is more pressure, though, and does threaten to block the Crasher. I have a feeling we're going to still be able to use the Cutthroat anyway. That play will still pan out. All right. Okay, cool. We found some land, and now the Cutthroat will do some work. No need to play this land first, though. We're not doing anything at instant speed here, so let's just send in the Burglars first. Doesn't get, like, hexproof or anything. Yeah, plan here is just to Fathom Fleet Cutthroat away the Ceratops, and they're saying, no, we're not going to give you that, so instead I'm going to go Vulture. Well, I may just go Elemental. No, I guess the Elemental's not very good against shifting Ceratops. We'll go with Burglar Vulture. What do we mill? 4 land. That's fine. We kind of have the land we need, so that's not the worst. All swamps, though, so that's a lot of ammunition for our rare. And sadly, it's no extra fuel for our soul salvage is what we really wanted. Now that Oppo has seen the Blade Brand, they're extra reticent to do any blocking here. I understand that, but we're going to make them do some eventually. Yeah, it's not like the... I'm just saying there wasn't extra. It's always nice to get extra fuel for your soul salvage, extra options. We didn't get it in this case, but that's okay. Probably getting Fleet and Skelly here. I think now they're going to be happy to block because at least they would get a 2-for-1. Yeah, we should probably hold swamps, but it depends on what we want to do here. We have thieves. We have a couple thieves we can go get back. And that's the thing. If we get thieves, I don't want to hold the swamp because I would want to play one. And... I think we want to go wide and overwhelm them a bit. Well, if we attack all Cutthroat and Skeleton, we do get one of them, but we're going to lose. We'd lose 2, and then we would get one of them dead. One of them would be back on D. I'm actually wondering if we want to go wide here, and then do Cutthroat Skelly next turn. I know they're at 10, but we could easily lose by giving up half our creatures here to only get one of theirs out of the way with 2 blockers on back. That's kind of rough. All right, chat seems to want to do this. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to let chat dictate this one. Well, we can't just win with flyers because well, I guess we can get Ceratops out of the way and then win with flyers. Yeah, I like that. We could let's get rid of the Ceratops and then the flyers have a freer path from here. Yeah, we want to kill the thing that can reach. And frankly, although this tramples, but we're at 25. If they don't do something about the air game, we bring them into 4 and then put lethal out. So they're on a 2-turn clock from here, and we have a lot of life. Not going to bother with blocks to save just a little bit of trample here. I'll wait till we untap, and then we can put enough of a defense up to make that a worthy play. But yeah, it definitely looks like win with flyers is plan A, B, C, and D here. thinking about sideboarding, we should be reminding ourselves of what's in Oppo's deck before this game ends one way or another. Yeah, beetles are coming in. Although they don't stop trample if they get this combo going, so let's keep that in mind. Like, we'll bring in the beetles, but Thicket Crasher makes the beetles less good. The beetles suck. You heard it here first. That's reasonable, Norbert. Getting the Ceratops out of the way was the best result of sending in all that stuff at Oppo. Could they have blocked the vulture? No, they were tapped out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's only 6. We could absorb some trample here, but I still don't think it matters. I'm gonna wait, see if they can do anything to stop the flyers, and then decide next turn how to handle Wurstklaw. Alright, they had something. Gonna make this hard. That's nice, though. That'll do just fine for us. Go. You can argue either one of these, really. If we kill the Crasher, we can just start chumping the Vorskla with Skelly. I don't think it matters either way too much, so I'm going to go for the Vorskla. Yeah, we could do Crasher or Vorskla, but I'm just going to go for the big dude. There are good arguments for each. I'm going to play the swamp so we can salvage and play a creature here too. Might need the Blood Burglar more than we need the Thief. But I'll take the Thief. I don't think it matters, and if it does, I think we'll want the card. Good point, Strionic Resonator. All right. Got game one, but we have another one to get before this match is ours. Okay, we wanted beetles in. And what does that mean we're taking out? Probably one burglar at least, even though they were well placed there, it felt. See ya, Fiddles. Thanks for hanging. One more cut. Maybe just a Blade Brand. They seem good against green too, though. Yeah, I don't want to cut the Blade Brand. Maybe one Cutthroat, or yeah, we could do another Burglar. We're on the draw this time, especially. Yeah, we could trade 2s for 2s, but I don't mind making the deck leaner and meaner as well if we thought like a Cutthroat was less impressive here. Maybe it was all right. All right, I'll cut a Burglar. We'll see. Nice. Yeah, we'll keep this. Wouldn't mind like a thief or something, but this is a fine start. And we'll go ahead and get our splash now. Hey, Blue Moss. Glad you enjoy when I make it to LR, and extra glad you found the stream live. Glad you could make it. Welcome. Let's see. If we played Blight Beetle, we could stop the troll that they have from working. We're gonna risk it though. We're gonna risk a troll getting a counter here. Although that'd be hilarious if we get a beetle down and they play the troll as a 2/2. Hard to cast 2/2. Looks like they're not casting it here. Keeping our swamps in case we find our dread presence. We want as many of those left in our hand as possible. I'm gonna play to curve though, and we'll vulture here. We can attack first though. They're not blocking. You're not blocking, are you? I mean, go ahead. Yeah, I couldn't fathom they would block. Thank you for the follow, Jaden. If you came over here from Amazonian and you haven't left yet, you could give me a follow. That'd be cool. Love to be on your radar as a content creator you can check out. Let's see now. Didn't get anything useful for the ground game, but our vulture's going to get in, and we can send in the beetle if we wanted to trade it for the piranhas. Thank you, folks, for the follows. Much appreciated. I don't think I want to do burglar for the piranha and a blade brand. I'm going to save that blade brand, I think, and we're going to just attack with the vulture, play the beetle. Although maybe it's a smoke 'em if you got him situation with the blade brand, and I'm being a little greedy trying to get value out of it when what we need is some action here. May cycle it at the end of the turn if they don't attack. Depending on what they do, we may want to cycle the blade brand. But that's the thing. It is very, very good against the green creatures that we've seen from Oppo. They've gotten pretty big on the ground, so blade branding with like Blight Beetle, especially if they attack, you know, they get multiple green stuff out and try to attack into a Blight Beetle, and we get to just eat it. That would be amazing. So since they didn't develop their board at all, I am not going to cycle the Blade Brand. They're not putting any real pressure back on us. Now I'm considering whether we want to send the Blight Beetle and take out the Piranhas so that the Blood Burglar starts getting attacks. And they're behind on land here. I think that's correct. We want to get because if we can trade Blight Beetle and a Blade Brand for Piranhas and we draw a card, then the Blood Burglars can get in through the Elemental, and we have another Beetle anyway. We're telegraphing the Blade Brand, but I think this is okay. I would happily trade my Piranhas for the Blight Beetle and the Blade Brand if I were Oppo anyway. Especially that pro-green being there. Just like to see this elemental stay at 2, although 1/6 is reasonable. We can still attack with the Blood Burglar, though. They don't have good blocks on it. We're ripping swamps like we're made of them. But who knows? Maybe Gorging Vulture gets in 6 more times here, 8 more times here, and we're good. If it gets in here 6 more times and nothing else, then we're not good. Oh yeah, Dread Presence would be amazing. We deserve it, right? Drawing swamps like John Avon. Well put. All right, bunch of ground stuff. I think with all the scrying, they'll find something for the vulture before it kills them, but I'm happy to get in another smack here. And, yeah, we'll upgrade the burglar. Can't send in the beetle unless we're willing to trade it for the crab, which we're not. But we can send in the blood burglar and trade it for the tracker. Via cutthroat. And if they just block the burglar with the crab, we'll probably cutthroat the crab. Why not? But I'm expecting this, yeah. They know it's coming, but doesn't change their need to block and doesn't change our decision to play it out. Yeah, it's nice not putting the counters on it. Ceratops is back, making our life troublesome. They have the mana for the reach. But let's see what we can find. Oh, more swamps. Sweet. Oh, it wasn't an elemental. Good point. Nonetheless, fun to turn that off. I was thinking it only had, like, when I saw them gaining life, I assumed that they were getting half of the effect, but the gain life happens if the +1/+1 doesn't. Yeah, Bone Splinters is where we want to be now. Well, now they've got to trade for the vulture as well. Yeah, suck it, Bark-eyed Troll. Exposed. So we can get Blight Beetle and Tomebound Lich back. And maybe we send in the let's see, if we send in the Cutthroat, we could get it back and replay it. Except they just block here. Kills the crab. What else would we want? We get Lich and I think that's worth it. I'm gonna offer the Cutthroat and see if they want to see how they want to block. A lot of ways they could block here that would be great for us, so I'm going to go for it. Like, our worst case is they block with only the crab, and we maybe decide not to do that play this turn. But if they do anything except block with just the crab, I think we soul salvage it back and execute that play. I don't know how much they can take either. Interesting take. Like, I think I like block only with crab over just take there. Really puts us in a more difficult spot, but I do think maybe we just give up on that plan then and get a second beetle and the Lich, and then the ground is just locked down, and then we're just kind of waiting for a way to get through the Ceratops in the air. Yeah, it's possible. We could just do this again next turn also. Maybe I shouldn't be too hasty. Lich is helping us. Lich would help us dig is the thing, but I think I'm going to play Swamp. I know that goes against the save for Dread Presence, but I think we are going to eventually want to do a Soul Salvage, play multiple things turn, so I don't want to get too far behind on land, because I want to Soul Salvage and cast stuff in the same turn. All right. If you want to do that and it makes you want to attack, I think that's probably good for us. What's your question, Resonator? When does the Lich trigger? Triggers on combat damage and ETB. And so now they're coming in with an attack, but this is fine by me. We're going to say no blocks. We're going to draw our... a Bone Splinters and get rid of the Ceratops and close out this game. All right, more swamps. I think now we're going to do Cutthroat, and then we play Salvage no matter what happens here. Now, if we get in with Vulture, they make it reach, they block and kill the Vulture, and don't block the Cutthroat, and then we lose our Vulture, and I don't want to do that. But we'll offer this up again. And yeah, let's Lich now. This is correct. Do this. Go Lich, and I'm gonna go Beetle. Get the other Beetle. All right, Lich, hook us up. Only keeps us with 2 swamps left for our eventual presence, but I do like playing out the hand here, so I'm going to do it. But I think now we're completely done playing swamps until there's a Dread Presence for us to leverage them with. I like them attacking with the Flyer because we just need removal for the Ceratops, and then we get in much better shape. And we'll be happy that Flyer is tapped. Yeah, it could be at the bottom of the library, but probably not. Probably coming somewhere along the way, and all right, there's the splinters we wanted. Unfortunately, let's see, what do we want to sack to it? Maybe one of these Blight Beetles? Maybe the Cutthroat's done its work, but it's still blocking, holding off like Lynx and threatening Overgrowth Elemental. That's what I was thinking, Steven. Probably just don't need the Thief now. Although, it attacking is not bad for us. But it's probably the worst creature we've got, if we're honest, about what we're trying to accomplish here. So yeah, it's the play. I think I've been I don't want to do it, but I'll do it. Alright, let's get rid of the Reach dude. Lich could even go in. No, I'm going to keep Lich on defense. Too valuable as a ground-based trader. Yeah, exactly. I think it could, but I don't think we need it. I think it's going to do more for us on defense this game. Not out of the woods yet here. They got a reef in play. They've been scrying. Now we hope they don't find trample for the claw, and the beetles can hold it off indefinitely. There's a flyer that can get through a warden, so I like that. That's going to make us offer up the vulture. I wasn't sure whether we were going to be attacking with vulture, but I think we want to make that trade and then drop the elemental and see if that can't get it done in a few turns. Do they have reach I'm not noticing? Wow, bold. All right. The Tempsis would be fine here, I might point out. I'm much higher on Season of Growth than Luis and Marshall are. I don't think it's amazing, but the fact that they don't see how crazy it is with Rabid Bite, and they don't seem to ever talk about the value of the Scry, which is not 0. I think chat tends to value the Scry a little more than I do, but I value the Scry clearly way more than Luis and Marshall do. I don't know why they're so down on this card. Well, Fenlurker, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now I want to play another Swamp because the Fenlurker can pump 3 times. We don't have to do that yet. Stupid Elemental, making things tough. I've played Season of Growth, but I don't do it lightly. I want to have some ways to get the targeted value out of it, and if I don't, I won't play it. Yeah, Rabid Bite and Blade Brand make that card sing, if you can get there. What did we get? We got the Growth Cycle. There you go. Interesting that they did that. They pitched a Growth Cycle. That makes me think they've got another one. Three Scry Triggers as a card. Maybe that's about right. I've thought about it, Artemis, using Unholy Indenture. Like, I've considered it, but it has never... It still seems too fancy play to me. That's what I'm thinking, AVB, that it suggests that they have multiple growth cycles in hand, so we should be looking on the lookout for combat tricks here. Yeah, I think we use Wilds turn 1. What I want is just to get our Dread Presence, and then we can attack with our 2 flyers, get them down to 4, and presence our way to the win. $16 to $13 in library size. All right, we got a Thief. Actually, we have 2 flyers now, so we couldn't even get them to 2. Fen is a 4/4 if we drop a swamp. Can be a 4/4 if we drop a swamp. Yeah, Dread goes to face, but I'm just saying we only have 2 swamps currently. And I was talking like we already had the tools to get him to 0 with what's going on in our hand. And we don't yet. Yeah, we're going to have a tough time breaking this stall otherwise. We do have some removal left in the deck as well. We got a Siphon in there. We've got another Bone Splinters. We got a Blade Brand. But we're actually pretty low on actual ways to close this out. So 3 swamps and a Dread Presence is really plan A right now. We do when it's our turn, but we just played it. If we find our removal... Okay, there's our 3rd swamp. Now we just need the Dread Presence. And we could Fen Lurker to what end? No end. So I'm going to attack with the Thief, though. No Bone Splinters, no Murders. But we have 1 Bone Splinters, no Murders. So we're looking for Bone Splinters. Also, Agonizing Siphon could combo with some stuff to win us the game. I haven't been paying attention to exactly how much they've scryed. It's okay, we're going to draw Dread Presence here. And finally just take over this game. I mean after I Blade Brand, then we're going to draw Dread Presence off the Blade Brand. Not going to actually Blade Brand here, because this gives us attacks in the air to have Blade Brand next turn. I gotta remember they're getting life off of dead creatures. They're not exactly in range as well. Yeah, Gecko, we'll attack with Flyers next turn and leverage the Blade Brand then. Probably gonna suss out some combat tricks on their part, but we have to do it. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we got 9. We expect 9 lands out of the 14, 15, 16, 17. So we actually expect them to have about 8 total spells left. Yeah, I think it would be bad. What can we do? Come on now, deck. Alright, that's a pretty reasonable draw. We're going to start with our flyer attack plan. And they're tapped out of possible combat tricks, so that's nice too. I mean, maybe an unsummon. I guess they have... Yeah, they have lots of mana, whatever. They have 3 mana. They have all their blue-green tricks available, actually. Still, we're going to send in the flyers and know that Blade Brand plus Boreal behind is pretty good here. And yeah, if there's Pump in hand, Blade Brand is actually a great response from us. Maybe they don't. Very interesting that they would have pitched the growth cycle in this matchup situation. I don't know what they're thinking about exactly. Yeah, there's no growth cycle in the yard right now, so we're not dead to a single growth cycle plus Sea Serpent. But let's see what Oppo wants to do here, if they're trying to get there with serpents. Ugh, rough. Probably just does us in. I don't know if I'm bringing Duress in just for that. I think we just got super unlucky this game, like wildly unlucky. 9 cards left in 2 games. We've not seen hide nor hair of 37 power, 36, 35, 34, 32, 31, 30, 22, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 22, 21, 20, 19. Yeah, we're dead. No, I counted a pumped Fenlurker. We didn't have it. We were dead. Bo. They show, what else do they show with 1 toughness? I like Bo with Cutthroat and with the Reef, obviously, but I don't know if that justifies inclusion of the Bo. Yeah, I'm not in for the Duress. I think we're just going to try to be better, faster. Kind of like a Blood Burglar back in. For 1 Cutthroat, but they are so good against those. You know, maybe I just can't afford it. Anybody like this Blood Burglar back in? Anybody want to cut anything here? Vulture? No. No, I think the Boreals are vital. I can't quite find a card I want to cut for the Burglar back, so I'm gonna let it time, or I can just cut again. Bo seems a little too sketchy. I think we'll be sad if we have Bo in not the right place for it. I think our deck is fine, and we should try to be luckier here. Bring in another flyer? What other flyer? Try to get not unlucky, I said, Ryan. Alright, well, we got our Dread Presence. We're gonna keep this. We're gonna ditch... Beetle or Burglar? I guess we'll take the Beetle. Ditch the Burglar. I mean... if I'm not keeping the Beetle, why did I not play another Burglar over the Beetle, right? Funnily enough, an island would be a pretty good draw right now. Hey! Thank you, Magic Gods. Well, only one choice there. Wouldn't mind an alternate play to the Dread Presence. I would prefer to, actually play the Thief and do Dread Presence when we have for sure a Swamp play. Make sure we get that value out of it. But also we can Lich first here. Ooh. Ugh, I don't know how you pitch Swamps when you have a Dread Presence, but we got a Thief. I mean, I guess the Thief and the Swamp are both extra cards here, when you think about it. But actually, I'm going to pitch the Swamp because we have Thief. Denizen blocks Thief. We draw a card. We play Presence. We drop a Swamp and kill the Denizen as a play. That's painful, though. Painful to pitch a Swamp when you have a Presence in hand, but I think that was correct. Salvage can target the Thief, it's true, but I kind of want the card right now. Let's do this and see how they want to handle it. We could leave the Lich back, but I like this. Let's do this. Ooh, and Blade Brand. Maybe we, wow. Okay, have Blade Brand. We're just going to follow through on the plan here. We're at the Presence, but we're behind on cards here. Let's see. We could do Vulture with Blade Brand up. Blade Brand plus Beetle is fun on the Thicket Crasher if they attack with that. Boreal gets us in the air right away, though. I think we will go with the Boreal, see what they want to do here. And we have Vulture Blade Brand next turn. But I like getting the Vulture, getting the Elemental going in the air here. And we'll leave the Beetle back, although if they attack, the block actually doesn't save much. So I might as well get in for one. I love if they play their own Boreal now. We have a Blade Brand answer. And that's like somebody was suggesting, hey, if we play the bow, your Boreal beats theirs. But like we have two Blade Brands that do that job. I'm with you, Devora. Like, Beetle against Trample is pretty underwhelming. But this is going to be great. All right, we'll put the Evolving Wilds out, and then we get the future double Dread Presence play, and we still get to play the Vulture, so that's nice. See what we mill. Two Swamps gone. That's too bad, but we still have a lot in the deck. Let's see, what is our Swamp count? That's not what I was looking for. We have two 3 in the graveyard, 3 on board, and 11 in the deck, so there's 5 more. Plus the Evolving Wilds gets 1 for free. Surprised they're keeping these Fortress Crabs. We're kind of trying to win through the air eventually, so they seem underwhelming to me, but maybe they didn't have anything to bring in. That happens. Yeah, just send in flyers, hoping they're good. I'm gonna play this because. Oh, wait, do we already use? No, we didn't. It removes any bluff in our hand, but we have Soul Salvage, so I want to continue deploying any islands we draw, especially. Although I think that might be all the islands. No, yeah, that's all of our islands, so no more islands. Good news, everything is action because all the islands are gone, so now it's swamps or spells the rest of the way. I do love this interaction, though. The troll doesn't get a counter. That makes me happy. All right, looking great for our team. Can't quite just kill him outright with the Evolving Wilds activation, but it's close. Should Oppo be attacking with the Crasher? I mean... I don't know what that gets him. But doesn't hurt either, I suppose. All right. Notched the first one. Jumping right back in. Anybody go to Vegas? How was it? Friend of Limited Resources and me, Adam, went to GP Vegas and opened, what's that 2-mana Planeswalker in Modern Horizons? He opened a foil one. He opened a foil Ren and Stimpy and then sold it for 300 bones. I did not see Ben S talking about Hogak. Was he happy about the ban? What was his thesis statement? Sure, I'll play another island here. We're gonna hold off on our swamps. We don't really have double black. I guess we have Fenlurker. I'm gonna put in a swamp because we need one out, and we do have Fenlurker. We might draw Fenlurker and decide that's the play. So, but island is likely to be our next land. We could go Vulture and try and trade with their Thief and get our Thief going later. Hey, we've got a heavy black, light blue deck here. Take a look at that later. I don't know if we Thief to try and go back with our Thief, but they're just gonna like shock it or kill it. Kind of like Vulture, threaten to trade with it. I'm gonna go Vulture, threaten to trade with it. That's my plan. Oof, quite a mill. Although we needed some land, so maybe not the worst, but that's some quality stuff we lost. Whatever is on the bottom of the library, right, Fiddles? I think Fiddles went to work went to a meeting or something, but gotta have a good mentality about self-mill or it'll drive you crazy. Just don't do another one. Okay, that I can handle. Even that's all right. We're gonna go thief here, though. Yeah, salvage eventually makes that a fine mill. Good point. Also, the fact that we're doing fine on the elemental front as well. Yeah, it's easy to do, Jason. Just feels like it's another place where you can... Self-mill is a place where you feel the unluck more than you feel the luck. It's hard to think to yourself, sweet, I milled those 4 medium cards and got... and then when I drew my bomb in 5 turns, I knew that it was 4 turns faster that I found my bomb. Like, that's a hard mentality to get into, so... No cavalcade win? Nice, Norbert. Alright, we'll go with an effort at a cutthroat takedown here. Or maybe just a Boreal Elemental since we've drawn this island. Let's see, if we Blade Brand... Nah, we'll just go... Cutthroat, and then play the Evolving Wilds. And since we can Boreal Elemental next turn, I'm not going to crack the Wilds. We're going to save that for as a trick with our rare, a Dread Presence trick instead of a land. We don't really need a 6th land at this point. We might draw we might draw Soul Salvage and wish we had more mana available, but I like holding this for Dread Presence right now. Robert, my opinions are that if you have Scape Shift, you should just run Scape Shift. And if you don't have Scape Shift, I like the Cavalcade deck, and just concede until you have a Cavalcade in your opener, and you'll win in 3 seconds. Rakdos sounds good too. But what I love about the Cavalcade synergy is that the 1/1 tokens that get made trigger your Cavalcade, so it's just absurd. Great. We're really actually happy about that because that takes out our elementals, assuming they get another land, and our elementals are going to rule the school here momentarily, I hope. Yeah, Gates seems like a fine alternative. Budget Gates deck is a nice budget way to get through the tournament if you don't want a Cavalcade. The Berserker is real. We're going to drop a Burglar, though, and try and trade with it. Yeah, AVB, we're talking about that. And that's you have a common tournament report. I hated that format so much, but I played Cavalcade and now I'm done. Yeah, Gecko, it all depends on where you want to put the work. Gecko's like, I don't build anything special for those events. I just play a deck that seems like it fits. And that's a nice low effort way to get it done. Yeah, we're going to take it here, try to get stable. Man, I kind of want to drop another elemental, but I guess we drop a Blood Burglar here. Hopefully we get like a 3-drop to play with it. Soul Salvage from Oppo produces a nice result there. They get to replay a Thief, restock their board. But if they don't find another elemental, at least this is just a 3/4, which our elemental can deal with, and we have a Blade Brand as well. All right, there's another land. We might keep that, though. I like going Burglar here. And actually staying back on D, given the Thief. We might expose our elemental to a Blade Brand, but they only have one other card we don't know about. I'm going to try and trade for the Berserker with the 2/2 and try and eat the Thief and only let them get the replacement card out of their Thief. That's so important to try and hold the value down that Oppo gets out of a Thief, and you've got to take some risks to do that. So we're going to put our Boreal Elemental at risk in an effort to control the Thief. Interesting that they did not want to make that trade. Clearly says they don't have a Blade Brand or whatever, so we'll try and make this Blood Burglar trade. Alright, now I gotta crack the wilds, and here's why. Because if we don't draw a land, or even if we do draw land, like whatever, like if we crack the wilds and play this swamp, we have enough to Boreal and Blade Brand the Brawler, so we have to do that. Yeah, I felt like if it was Cutthroat, they would have sent the Thief as well. I don't know. Yeah, we survived the Cutthroat threat. But we will go get islands to keep more swamps in the deck for eventual presence. Now we could go Blood Burglar and threaten the same. I'm going to actually play Blood Burglar and pass. You can even keep the swamp in case of presence. I think we have everything we want to do here. Just trying to keep controlling the situation. I guess we lose the elemental if we do this, but no, I guess we go. No, we don't. That's fine. We still got it. If they send just the Brawler, we Blood Burglar, Blade Brand. And if they had sent the Thief, we still had a block with the elemental. Hope it gets there. They do have 2 cards. Uh-oh. Response incoming. Ouch. But they did have to use Blood Burglar in that spot. Not the greatest for them. Not the greatest for us that we're gonna drop a swamp, and we're still pretty set for presence help in the deck. We still have 11, 10, 9, 8, 7 swamps left in case of Dread Presence. Let's see how they want to attack here. If they swing away with everything, we might just double block Thieves. This is an interesting attack. But we're going to try and do that thing. Nice, and a Siphon. With 8 mana, we could double spell here, but I'm not sure we need to play the Cutthroat yet. still, I kind of like it. We just burn one of these, cutthroat, attack, and really have a solid board presence. I'm not going to mess around here. They're down to 1 card. Come on now. Laggy lag. Sometimes a hill giant is good enough. A lot of pressure in the air here against a red-black deck that kind of needs to find removal-based answers to the elementals or they're going to lose. I like this play. Makes us give up the cutthroat to block the thief, which we are going to do. I just think it's very difficult for them to find the answers to these elementals unless they got stacked with removal and really just leap into it here. We're threatening lethal, though, in 1 turn. And even if they kill one of our elementals, we're threatening lethal in 2 turns. Yeah, they're all done. All right, red-black, a lot of thieves, some decent removal. Don't know what we really have for that. Duress might be serviceable given the high volume of removal we saw. But we're also not too concerned with any one of our creatures being removed except for maybe the Dread Presence, and we have Soul Salvage and stuff to get it back. Everything else is pretty, like, replaceable. I'm not sure I see anything I want to bring in. Anybody? We can bow with our own cutthroats, but we didn't see much to do on that front. I guess they had the 3-1, the 1/1/3/1 uncommon. I'm gonna run it back though. Yeah, the artifact flyer. Maybe that was the flyer that someone was talking about possibly running last time, where I didn't remember we had it. Yeah, I just don't know what we take out to add a couple of those. And also, they showed bow, and those raptors are really weak against bows. Oh, thanks, Slowbra. Glad you liked that. For those of you who don't know what Slowbra's talking about, my son Oliver and I played a couple hours of Yuppie Psycho on Saturday night. You can check that out in the VODs if you want. Well, the first thing I saw was the Dread Presence, and then I saw the complete lack of land that makes this not keepable. Keep this and send down the Vulture, I think. So, I lose a ton of my viewers when I either stop streaming Limited Magic or I don't stream at 9 a.m. Pacific. So I've been reticent to get into streaming non-Magic at off hours because there's not much of a business reason for me to do it at this point. Like, it's not growing my audience, and, you know, we streamed to like 15 people for 2 hours, right? However, I totally dig playing games with my son, and I would do that anyway. So when I have that excuse of like, well, I would do this anyway, might as well flip on the camera, that's what made a lot of sense to me. So Burglar shows up late to the party, but I'm going to start with him over the Vulture and look to trade off for one of those two things. That's funny, Mama. Appreciate that. ZZ Lark, you hit it exactly. Why not just stream for fun if you play anyways? Exactly. So, but also because sometimes I just don't want the mental, like, I guess we'll take out the thief here. Why not just stream for fun if you play anyway? Because sometimes I want to play without having to talk to you all, frankly. You know what I mean? Sure. Yeah, I was up against the GP too, but I wasn't really watching that either. Okay, so Lavacan Brawler is a thing. I guess we just Lich, and maybe I should have not played the land before I Lich. We'll probably get an island and I'll feel silly. Although if we do, I'm just going to pitch it anyway. Let's go Lich here. And we ditch... I think we ditched the Vulture as being pretty weak in this current situation. And everything else has potential to help us here. Probably have to offer the Lich for the Brawler and then come up with an Elemental to try and stop the Berserker. I know that the Cutthroats, like, we could have pitched a Cutthroat on the sense that we're, quote, not attacking, but also they're not bad just coming down and defending, so that's why I wanted to keep the Cutthroats. Now I think we need to go Elemental, threaten to eat the Berserker, and then Cutthroat threaten to double block the Brawler, but we're pretty up against it here. We just got whacked on pretty hard by Oppo's strong start. He's not even that strong a start. It's just this Berserker is overperforming this game. But thankfully they didn't find another Elemental for this Brawler. And might keep him from attacking at all. Yeah, because they would have had to give up the Berserker to get in 3, and they didn't want to do that. And now we get to at least drop a Cutthroat and be somewhat competitive here. We're going to play the Swamp. If we do find a Dread Presence, we can still play the other Swamp, but I want maximum mana for possible 2-spell turns in case we find a 3-drop or something to play alongside the Cutthroat next turn. Yeah, Vulture could gain life, but I think the 3/3 is important here, as you can see from what we're facing. That's not really winnable. I think we're just dead on the spot, yeah? Yeah. Alright. F this Berserker. I'm not losing game 3 to a damned Unchained Berserker. That card's kind of garbage against white. Feels really garbagey here, and I don't want to lose to it. But you do what you can, and then let the cards fall as they may. I don't want to lose to it so badly that I'm not gonna bring in like Blight Beetles for it or anything, but Unchained Berserker is not great. It's really not great. There's bows flying around the format, and there's 1/1 tokens, and there's lots of 1 toughness. You know, anyway, I don't know. It's not humiliatingly bad, but it's not good. I think it's fitting into Oppo's strategy. Let me be clear. Like, it's really bad when people randomly throw it into a deck for no reason. Oppo's got a reason. Oppo's playing red-black aggro, but I just, like, I don't want to lose to it. Yeah, it does work early, but I think it's actively bad in many decks. It's not actively bad in Oppo's deck. Oppo has a reason to play it, but too many people play it for no reason. Octo is not necessarily better because it's harder to cast. We only have the 5 islands and the Evolving Wilds. I don't think we actually have any changes to make here. I'm just spending a couple minutes reiterating how much I don't want to lose to a... It's not even a 3-1 on its turn is the problem. That's what I really don't like about it. It's a 1-1 on defense. At least the crappy white 3-1s for 2 block. Anyway, we're going to send it back. We got match 1, and we're in the middle of match 2 here, trying to get the 3rd game. And secure some gems. Yeah, we'll keep this, and hope for an island or 2 off the top. Encouraging start if we can just get the mana to support it. And Oppo has mulligan. Not bad, not bad. Island, 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 island. Yeah, called for it, got it, happy. Island would be even better, but we'll take any land. Swamps are fine too, as we move toward Dr. Presence. Okay. They had a sense of a dread presence. They had this dread overcoming them that they weren't sure how to explain, and they just had to scoop. Yeah, they kept a risky hand, I'm sure. They had mulled to 6 and probably made a risky land keep, ran out of lands there, and just felt like they had no way to overcome a thief without land. So maybe a turn early there. I still would have given, if I were Oppo, I would try one more time for another land if they had anything they could play that would stop a thief. But we'll happily take the win. We are 2-0. We have made it to gems without using our foul to give. It's 11:11, and I'm not going to touch the clock on my computer. We were talking about superstitions before, and I'm such a not superstitious person by nature in general, but find myself doing silly superstitious things sometimes. And we were talking about some of the what superstitious things we do when we know they mean nothing but do them anyway. And I'm someone who does the make a wish on a 11:11 touch the clock, and I'm trying to stop because it's silly. What are you doing, Ryan? Yeah, there's design space there, Resonator. Not amazing, but with the Evolving Wilds getting us access to an island, I am going to keep this and hope that we don't get run over. Yeah, you'd have to do something. Trouble is, you wouldn't want to design that. I mean, actually, maybe it's not good design space because it's how do you police it is the problem. Because saying if this card is drawn, reveal it. Well, what if I don't? Am I a cheater if you catch me with that card in my hand? What if I say I didn't draw it? I got it. It was in my opener. You know. So I think it's a little too difficult to actually implement something like that from a rule standpoint. Unless you made it... I mean, you could play an enchantment that said, name a card. Whenever you draw a card, reveal the draw. if you draw the card name revealed, then blah, and then you do something like that. How do you force the player to reveal it if it's in the opening hand, Slowbra? It's just hard to force the player in the situation we're talking about. Vulture, a nice draw here because we have Soul Salvage in hand. Let's feed it. All right, couple of swamps, couple of creatures to get back though. We could cycle the Blade Brands, but I'm going to go ahead and Soul Salvage. It's a little weak, but I don't want to not do anything here. Oppo is spinning wheels a little bit with their plays, and if we don't play Soul Salvage here, we just kind of pass the turn doing nothing. So I don't like that, and I'm going... So really, it's cycle some Blade Brands or Soul Salvage. I'm going to go ahead and Soul Salvage. It's design space that seems a little tricky to execute in an elegant way, and is not just, look what we did, as opposed to, we had this great idea for a mechanic and this was how to execute it, as opposed to, thought this would be clever somehow, so decided to do it, you know? All right, we're going to attack with the Vulture and then consider options. Probably just going to Elemental here, though. Keep up in the air. Yeah, it's a great, fantastic design space for a digital game. Then you have no problems, but paper game, too tough. We had an R&D offsite one time where people made 5-minute pitches. You know, you could pitch anything you want. Any idea you wanted. Pitch it to the rest of the idea R&D, see what they think. And one of my pitches was for Magic Online, which would be a Magic Online only unset that leveraged digital mechanics for stuff like that. Go ahead and play this island. I know. Well, actually, I should wait because we're gonna draw from Blade Brand. I'm going to attack with both, and actually I'm going to bring the Vulture back. They know we have the Cutthroat, so they didn't want to do it there. I guess that's going to hold us back from kind of getting them there. But maybe they'll come back the other way and not realize that we have Blade Brands. Wait, it was Scott, right? Scott? Let me know if Scott is not right. We on the team idly talked about how Arena might go backwards, but we never settled on anything. So I don't know if they intend to or whatever, but there's certainly ways you could go backwards on Arena. The question is, how do you monetize it appropriately? You only get one shot to monetize that old set that you're bringing back. So are you going to how do you do it correctly? The problem is there's so many bad Magic cards and so few good ones for the old formats. Like, it can be hard to just imagine you're going to sell that kind of thing. Sell old packs with nothing in them very lucratively. So then you get into something like introducing stuff through Masters type sets, which is definitely possible, but a lot of work. Okay, well, you know we have the Cutthroat, but you got to do some blocking at some point, my friend. And we're going to get that spider, damn it. Maybe they're okay to take out the elemental if they can vial it away, which is fine. I'll make that trade too. All right, we're going to brand it up. We could just cutthroat, though. I suppose either way, they're going to kill the Boreal, which is what we were talking about. I'm just trying to figure out if we want to cutthroat or brand. Maybe we cutthroat since they know about it. 4, 5, 6, and then we could still blade brand. Yeah, I'm just going to... Oh, Bone to Ash could be rough. That's a very good call. It might be Bone to Ash. But if so, they can't kill the elemental, so that would be worth it. All right, that's fine for us, too. Now they think they're out of the woods, but we actually have the double blade brand to punish the spider on the way back down. Yeah, so turned out to be a good choice not to use the blade brand, but just kind of lucky. It's not like we saw that coming. DJ sums up my rambling in one nice sentence. If you can't sell to pack crackers, then it ain't worth doing. Gotta create demand for the packs that you release, and if some old set is not going to have that demand, it's not the best. Probably just Fenlurk or Bone Splinters here. I mean, if we just... kill all their creatures, then the thief gets to go forever and ever and ever. Let's see, they got rid of an island. Yeah, I'm actually just gonna throw the vulture at the denizen and go hard here. I mean, they're at 10. This, like, actually puts lethal right in their face. I'm going to go ahead and... well, wait. Let's see. 4, 5, 6, and then we could play 7 and have Elemental Blade Brand next turn. Okay. Two blockers, but that's not going to be good enough. I guess they trade a wolf for a thief, but we don't really care. I could have liched and looked for something to potentially, like, get us through for more damage, but I don't think there's anything we could draw off of one lich that would just give us the win right here, so we'll play it slow. We've got huge advantage here. Right on, Baker. Christmas Baker has made it into the stream. Love it. That's one of my favorite things to hear these days, because Baker, I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong, how to reach a wider audience, how to grow my audience, and something that's been pretty successful is getting all of my content up on YouTube, and one of my favorite things to hear is that from someone, Christmas Baker. Been watching you on YouTube, made it to you live. Music to my ears. Shared summons. Let's see if they can get what they need. What do you think they'll get? They need a couple of spiders is what they need. With 8 mana, they could get 2 spiders and cast them both. Serpent and an elemental of their own. That's great. We're in great shape. The blade brands are going to be awesome. We could. I just think we're going to get there, no problem. I like having both the brands. Sure, we'll threaten unsummon. Yeah, if you're a fan of my stream and you catch it live all the time, and maybe you have friends you know cannot ever really possibly catch it live, and so you haven't bothered mentioning it, you can plug my YouTube channel to Magic players you know. Let them know that if they find 9 a.m. Pacific to be a bad time slot for them, there is plenty of content waiting for them on the old YouTube. All right. One down. Let's see. We saw green. What? It was a green blue? Green blue, possibly elementals. Super chunky today with the, I don't know if it's us or wizards or what, but a lot of lag today for me. Hey, Dogface. What's up, buddy? Wanna come say hi to chat? Come here. Where's my favorite hound? All-time favorite hound right there. Number 1 with a bullet. Number 1 with a rocket. All right. Enough talking to my dog, who's wagging his tail but not getting anywhere near this table. Beetles for the green, I suppose. That's what we did before. They did have a mountain. Standard teamer. Let's run that. We are looking for a third win and genuine profit. We ground some gems during the draft, so getting our gems back with a third win would give us profit on the day. Love to make that happen here. A fine start. Look, we drew a Dread Presence. This card is drawable. Yeah, it looks like they found their splash mana again. Heartpiercer Bow, great against the Beetle. Might have to cut the Beetles in the face of that bow action. But I'm going to play it out now. No, actually I'm not. We have Tomebound Lich, so now that the Blight Beetle has shown that... I'm going to play one Swamp. Now that the Blight Beetle is going to be outclassed by a bow, I'm going to pitch it to the Lich instead. Let me guess, Christmas Baker, it was Dionysus complaining about my playing Gargos, right? That was funny. Yeah, we'll send that Beetle away. And look, we got 3 islands, which is actually fantastic in the face of a Dread Presence in hand. Yeah, there's some interesting design choice around colorless damage and pro color stuff, but it's a little confusing. Everybody's had to like reread how that works and stuff. Not usually one to siphon a piranhas, but it does create an attack for us, so I'm going to do it here. Because attacking with the Lich is fantastic. We likes to loot. Ah, +3/+2? Are they thinking about it? I don't know. Why would you splash +3/+2? That seems ridiculous. But it seems like they're pausing as though they had moved, so I'm not sure. Maybe it's a shock? Yeah, we'll send away a vulture, especially having drawn Soul Salvage. Seems like a shock, huh? Stomping of children from above. All right, Dread Presence actually doesn't... It draws us a card. I think we should do it and draw the card. And boy, what do we want to ditch here? I don't want to ditch swamps when we have a Dread Presence, but we might want to get going in the air with the other Vulture. We do have a Boreal, though. We have a Soul Salvage. I'll ditch the Vulture again. Trying to come up with something else to do, but Vulture's correct. And I'm going to go for the draw here. Go to the face. Not yet. I don't think we're face desperate. We're gonna Splinters, one of the denizens. We can get back stuff. We can get back creatures. I think we'll be fine. We might not want to actually cast those vultures, though. Let's see. We can go for damage again. I'm going to start with a Lich attack. These might be somewhat incidental. It's not like we saw them a bunch in the first. Let's pitch the Beetle again. Since we have Swamp to draw a card. And then I'm going to siphon the Crasher here. Although, do we need to... Yeah, we could have sacked to the Splinters, but we'll get there. I'm not worried about that. Might even just sack the Lich to... Like, you just don't want to lose to Mill, but I don't think we're on a lose to Mill path. I'm just wondering if actually the more important thing here is an Elemental. Like... Yeah, exactly. Like, I was going to kill the Siphon because it's an appealing little target or whatever, but we should just play the Elemental, get going in the air, maybe even Splinters a Denizen with the Lich. Like, we do have the Soul Salvage to get Lich back if we want. I kind of like that. Like, we actually just want to stop the mill more than the damage. Yeah, it's not about taking the hit from the Crasher now. I'm thinking more about taking out the Denizens. And I think if we take out the Denizens, then 2 Boreal Elementals just kind of win. So I'm going to do that. Yeah, Epicure is... If you can guarantee me that the Epicure only shows up when we have Dread Presence going, then I'm in with you on it. But I don't know about it just on the strength of the Siphons and the Vamps. We did have a lot, but I just don't know if it's how we want to try and win these games. So now I like killing the Mutt. Trying. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. We can save that. We can do that on next swamp though. And then if we if we siphon the Crasher here, then we get to attack with the Presence. That's what I was thinking. Maybe they have the Shock, but we have Soul Salvage to get Presence back. And then we're doing some serious damage. Heck, if they have the Shock here, we have the Soul Salvage this turn. Looks like they're counting on the mill plan. Maybe we go for creatures back here now. Although we only have stuff I don't really want, except for the Lich. I think I'm going to be patient on the Soul Salvage. We have a Dread Presence that might die. Let's think about those terms. Yeah, I think we're all on the same page. No need to spend our mana here just because we can. All right, we got our potential Fathom Fleet play 4, 5, 6, 7. If we do Swamp, kill the Denizen with Fathom Fleet, we can't play the Elemental as well. But both plays put 3 power on board, so that seems fine. Doing it now to see what we might need to think about if they have a response. Lunch? I got teens. They're making breakfast. We did it, gang! It's profit! And we haven't used our foul to give yet. Nice. I could use a snack and a fresh beverage. I'm gonna bask in 3-0 while I go take care of that. So I'll be back with a snack and a drink. Hang tight, and we'll get into game match 4 right quick. Another red-black deck. Well, let's show him our thief. Good to draw out a murder. And Soul Salvage says, don't worry about it, we'll get it back in a bit. How many lands are we running in this deck? 17. I offered the trade because of the Soul Salvage and because if they have something like Blade Brand, I don't want them taking down our Boreal Elemental with the Vulture based on Blade Brand. Sadly, our Thief is now gone out of the yard as well. That makes me less interested. Although there's still 2 creatures there, if we thought it was worth it. Not sure it is. We are playing lands here, though. Vulture and Cutthroat. Is that worth it? I think it is. I don't want to sit here and do nothing. I want to do it. And we'll play a Vulture over Burglar. Hopefully we don't mill our presence, but gotta take those risks. Bunch of land, and we've now lost both of our siphons, so we can't expect those back for us. We're down 2 siphons and 1 Blade Brand. But we got a nice Air Force. They're not showing any flying defense right now, and red-black is pretty weak in the air. They've got vultures and some uncommon dragons and whatnot, but for the most part, they're not going to be in the air, and I love making red and black have to use their removal on flyers instead of having creatures to block them. All right. I'm going to start with the Lich, because we're probably pitching the Swamp, despite its value to possible Dread presences. I'm just going to pitch the Wilds. Although, if we don't need the mana... Yeah, I'm going to pitch the Wilds and play the Burglar. Leave the Cutthroat. Could just play the Cutthroat and have another 3/3 on the ground, but Burglar blocks a lot of what's going on here, and we'd trade for the Necromancer with the Lich or whatever if we had to, or just let it go even. Could just try and kill the Necromancer now, but I think we may face tougher creatures than that. All right. Plan was to trade with some stuff. We can throw Lich on the 2/2. They might have Blade Brand here. Should we make them have Blade Brand, or we just take out? Do we take out the Necromancer and assume Blade Brand? Usurped. I'm assuming that if we do this, we lose Lich to a Blade Brand, and in that case, we may just want to take out the Necromancer. But we could also make him have it. We'll make him have it. Sure, let's make him have it. Or maybe they follow with a shock or something. All right, probably going to splinter that thing. I'm going to send the Lich, and then we'll splinter it if... I'm assuming they'll block with the skeleton, and then we will splinter the Lich for killing that Predator, and continue to try and win 5 at a time in the air. Actually, go 7 at a time in the air here. I don't want to splinter with the new Vulture. I like just splintering with the ground dude and keeping our air attack in place. Just adding to it. That kept our life up as well. Man, I'm going to say no. I think they're just racing because they have no other choice. I'm not going to trade off the Vulture for the Smuggler. Too bad we can't double spell those, but we get one of them. All right, you got there. 1 to the good against red-black aggro-ish. Any ping targets? Didn't see a lot of 1 toughness that I remember, but I forget things instantly, so if I'm forgetting something, let me know. But I think we're not bringing in the bow. No reason to bring in beetles. We could try the Epicure. We do have a lot of life gain, and they seem to be on the ground. If we bring in that, I'm going to cut 1 cutthroat. I don't think the cutthroats were doing as much of a job against. Although they're playing the 6/5 6-drop, but I don't know if they're blocking with that much. I'm going to try this. We're going to give this a try. See if the life gain is worth the Epicure, as we were discussing previously. Yeah, as Jason points out, we got a nice looking curve here. As I was saying earlier, not only do the bad mills stick with you, the good mills you barely notice. The good mills, you don't even process that the good thing happened to you. Yeah, I agree, Mike. 4/4 is a good power toughness combo against what we saw in the first game. Fantastic. They're worried enough about us that they're blocking with their smugglers, so thrilled. How about a Dread Presence in the graveyard? Yeah, baby! Look at that. We get to Soul Salvage, Boreal Elemental and Dread Presence. But with them not doing anything, I kind of just want to play a Cutthroat. Is that crazy? Yeah, I'm gonna just get my stuff back. Too powerful. Threatens a dread presence with activation next turn. So good. Wow, Oppo. Feel like they're gonna snap kill the presence. I'm gonna start with an attack. Yeah, Island would have been great. Island would be great because then we obviously just drop the island and play the elemental. I hate playing swamps when I have Dread Presence in hand without value, but I think it's the right play here. If they've got Outrage, they can't even get the elemental, for example. Yeah, now they're thinking about it. Well, shoot, now what? All right, they had the murder. Yeah, we want him to get the elemental over the presence. I just hate losing value out of a swamp when we have the presence is the thing. Now we can go presence, draw a card, Fenlurker. Let's do that.
Some say I never heard of ya. A rap burglar.
That is funny. Jinx, mix ship. Oh, right. I was not supposed to attack, so this thing gets small enough or whatever. That's all right. We have Ping and Cutthroat anyway. That was the real problem. We kind of felt like they had Outrage, so that's not a surprise. We got one card out of it, though. Now I kind of want to Evolving Wilds. We're done with... we're never getting that guy back. We've used our Soul Salvage already. Four, five, six. We can pump the Fenlurker twice or get the Cutthroat down. Cutthroat doesn't do much, though. If we're racing the Vengeful Warchief, I guess let's race the Vengeful Warchief. We can chump it eventually. We've got good flyer here. Well, hopefully they don't have another matcher. I mean, another war chief. Another matcher would be fine. All right, so if we play a swamp, we get to a 3/3 Fenlurker. But I think we just send in, they block the Fenlurker. Well, we could, I don't know if we can't really take it next turn because we're going to put them to 7. They get this 7/7. We have to chump next turn. I'm going to swing with the Vulture, though. We can't stop attacking with the Vulture. They don't win if we swing with both, because we do have a Cutthroat. I mean, if they can remove it, they do. Question is... 4, 5, 6, 7, then 8. Then we could make this a 5/5 next turn. Yeah. Actually, I'm gonna send in the vulture. I'm gonna play the cutthroat. And then we're at least presenting. Okay, murder is bad. Now we gotta chump the lurker. Flood it out a bit here. Wouldn't have been. All right, we're dead. Just sending it back, though. Yeah, we would have been fine if we just had a little more spell density. Removal decks look great when you flood out a bit, but removal decks are easily beaten if you get a little more action than they do. I've had some amazing looking, 8 removal decks that just fell flat because, well, yeah, you killed a bunch of their stuff, but then you flooded it out a bit, and then they played something that stuck and they beat you. I mean, we could duress. What are we taking out and what is it getting us? I guess Blade Brand is pretty risky in a deck against so much instant speed removal. We could do this, I suppose. In the face of all that murder, Blade Brand is quite risky. So yeah, let's do this. All right, rubber match in match 4 here. We're 3-0, looking to stay perfect. But Oppo has other ideas. All right, we're going to keep that opener, though. Thank you, Phil. Appreciate that. Let's see what Oppo ditches. Uncaged Fury. Ugh. Really wanted to land there. Really want an island if I can call my shot. Alright, well, we'll take it. And risk the vulture. Vulture pain incoming. Let's see, we got a thief and a cutthroat that we can get with salvage. That was pretty good. Didn't get any of our land. Actually, that was kind of game saving to take 4 non-lands off the top of our deck. Woo. I think I can remember the quality of that one. I'm going to go ahead and trade for a smuggler here. They get out of hand, and we're trying to establish some control here. Okay, that's nice. And then I'm going to lich and probably ditch this Epicure, depending on what we draw. Bone Splinters. Yeah, I think we got to send away Epicure. It's our worst creature given this spot, although it does start to go off here again. We can get it back with Soul Salvage later if we decide it's the thing for us. And we could even Bone Splinters with Fenlurker, but I don't think we're that desperate yet. We have a Dread Presence that if we draw a Swamp is going to kill the Smuggler outright, so hopefully we don't need to give up a Bone Splinters and a Fenlurker for either of these. We want something better. More smuggling. Man, if we just rip some swamps, those smuggles are not going to be great. We did not, though. Let's attack with the presence, though. And we can even send in the lurker. I mean, I'll trade lurker 1 for 1. I just don't want to sack a lurker to a bone splinters to take out a smuggler. I'll leave it back. I'll leave it back. Because we can threaten to pump it if we don't end up playing a spell here. I feel like if we play the presence, it might just get immediately snap killed, but we do have a soul salvage, so maybe that's okay. I think I'm going to do it because of the soul salvage protection. They might have the 5 mana exile. We're going to risk some exile burn by playing this, but at least if they spend 5 mana, they're using their whole turn on it. But I would never play the presence without, or not never. I'm only playing the presence in this spot without a swamp at the ready because of our ability to salvage. Super risky, but got there. Smuggler or digger? I guess I don't care if they dig right now. But digger, yeah, digger can attack, and smuggler can't do much yet. We'll do that, that's fine. Dead presence incoming. Oh no, it's the wrong one. Well, I said this might happen. At least we got one shot off of it. But sucky that they had exactly the removal I didn't want to see. Not sucky that we have an Air Force that's likely to just win this game, though. I mean, 2 Boreals with Soul Salvage backup against Red-Black seems excellent. Go ahead, murder one. We're not blocking. We're not going to fall for Blade Brands and make shocks work and that kind of thing. Lich, goodbye. Lich, please. Let's see now. We can't win next turn. We're at a pretty high life total, but they're building up a squad here. I think we go Soul Salvage, back some stuff, and play Blood Burglar. Let's get a... Oh, what do we want? Vulture helps in the air. And Epicure, just a big nasty on the ground. Probably the correct one here. Oh, you wanted Burglar and Pump Mana? I'm thinking Vulture and Epicure. I'm with Fool on this one. Go Skies and go big. I'm going to trade for the Smuggler since that can create unblockability. Yeah, we're not going to play the Vulture because we're just trying to win on elementals through chumps down below. I only put the Epicure in this match. This is the first time Epicure has really even been in our library after sideboarding. So we could go Vulture and Splinters away something, but I think we just go Epicure. They need a lot to win from here because they need to remove the Epicure. Like, I guess if they have another Murder and a Pump Spell, the Double Strike Pump, they could have maybe done it, but yeah, we got them. Profit!
Initiate, you are not worthy.
Let me make sure. I gotta actually check my calendar, make sure I haven't scheduled anything for the early afternoon that I have forgotten about. I assume we'll be able to finish this up, but I need to check. Nope, we got the driver's course at 3 o'clock, but nothing until then. Oh, one comment to make. I was talking about how I need to leave early on stream sometimes to get my kids to driving school, and someone was kind of, saying, when I was a boy or when I was a kid, we had to bus to driving school, and it's true, but here's the thing. In order to eventually get their licenses, they need 50 hours of driving with an experienced driver. So we actually use going to and from the driving school as a big part of their chunks of hours of driving. Like, I watch all these parents drive their kids away from driving school, and I'm like, what are you doing? You gotta double it up here. This is a perfect time. And also it gives them a consistent route that they go over and over and over again. And they get to learn a route and start to feel really comfortable with it. So I think it really helped to use our drive time to driving school for that purpose. But yeah, I could make them bus, but we gotta drive 50 hours each anyway, so might as well get on it. Exactly. I go optimal in every area of my life that I can. They have not specified a requirement of night driving that I have read, but that makes sense. I like it. Well, if Dread Presence sticks around and we get some, maybe some islands to... This is a card I don't think we've cast yet. Have we found our own skeleton? I mean, our deck has gone to like 9 cards in library, but I don't think we've yet cast a skeleton. All right, let's see if Oppo can produce some tokens here. Doggy? Oh, yes. Yeah, we get Splinters now. If they make this any bigger, it starts to get a little awkward. And the Splinters is effectively free with the skeleton. I think I'm going to do it. And we can actually attack. It's maybe a little bit early to use what amounts to premium removal for us, but feels like a good spot. Oppo on 3 cards. We with a Dread Presence around the corner. If they have another pup, we can mow it all down. All right, unfortunately having to use all these swamps ahead of actually having the presence out, but we can go Thief here, and then we have Dread Presence swamp next turn for sure. It was going to get bigger, that's the thing. I felt like that was our, you know, that was a 1-for-1 spot, and it was one token away from getting a little bit out of hand for us. How much flight time did you have to have? Oh, now you show up, Island. Where were you last turn? Let's see. Do we attack with the thief? And no, I don't think we do. Well, we could, yeah, because we can attack with the thief, and if they block with the pattern matcher, at least we kill that. We can just, yeah, we could jam with everything. So annoying to draw the island this turn, though. Come on, island. $1,500 hours to make it to the commercial airlines. That's good to know that they require that much, frankly. Big ones require even more. Oh, they got pump. Maybe? They would have saved the wolf, though, right? What are they doing? Unsummon? Huh. Okay. Yeah, we traded for a different card, that's all. That's fine. Islands showing up is so funny. You're so funny, deck. Let's see. 4, 5, 6. We can get the skeleton back and vulture. Let's go ahead and vulture and watch 4 swamps mill. And then we'll get Skelly back after the fact. 1 swamp, not too bad. I will double block a 3/3. They did show us some pump here, but I'm willing to put Burglar and Vulture on a 3/3 if they send in here. Oh, what are they going to do? Oh, they probably just tap down a 2/2 here, and then I can't block. No blocks yet. We're at 20. All right, well, probably need to put the wilds in and actually hope for a swamp to go alongside it, and then we can kill the Geists. But now at least we have enough on the ground to threaten the 3/3s. Yeah, block ping now works as well. Good call. But I think we need to take out the Geists. We'll see, though. See, I don't think we need to Skelly ping. We just actually eat it ping. Not eat, trade. Bladebrand is great. Still taking stuff from the air in Dungeon Geist, but Bladebrand is nice. Yeah, beetles are coming back. I haven't seen anything. They haven't shown us a bow or anything. They are in blue, though. Ugh. Well, it was all tight and interesting, and then they play a bomb. And it becomes less so.
Civilization has crept too far. Tear it down.
And unfortunately, this is a... Oh, wow, they're doing it that way. I thought we were done for.
This'll be fun to watch.
This is fine, because we're not... It means we're not dead. Let's block here and Blade Brand. We're taking 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Going to 4. That's pretty rough. Yeah, we could brand ping. Yeah, let's do that. Good call. Okay, so we do this. Let's see. Just making sure that we might actually just want to block and let the presence go here. We're low enough on life that I'm gonna do that, I think. Not as crazy as it seems, I do not think. We're out of swamps and we need to survive. Oh, there's a swamp for us. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa! What? Did I click through? Or did it not give me a chance? Did I screw that up, or was that... Did I get screwed by the UI? Oh, well, shoot. UI punt for Ryan. It happens. I think that's game, though. Bummer. Yeah, I don't feel like I got a chance. I'll have to watch that replay. Oh, did I brand the wrong creature? Well, but it didn't even give me a chance. If I crack the wild... No. Hold on now. Usurped. I needed to give Dread Presence Death Touch so that the ping would kill the Geists. I had to do... but it never gave me a chance to crack the wilds, I don't think. Yeah, I got screwed by full control there. That makes me mad. I've never had to put a stop on the end step to crack wilds. That's just... I think you're wrong on that. I think you're doing that now, Walloon, and you don't need to, but you're convincing yourself that you have to, and so you do it every time, and are not noticing that. I'm almost certain that that's not what's going on there. All right, we'll do it this way. I think this is fine. I just don't understand why, like, Wizards, if some S goes down in declare attackers or declare blockers, put on stops for everything. Man, combat's the one place where you should just, like, make sure that if stuff starts going on the stack, you just immediately basically full control it for everybody. All right. Are they tanking on Mulligan here? Maybe. Beat a Vulture, maybe Cutthroat? We'll see. We'll just stay back on D with the Beetle here and Vulture it up. All right. Well, now I'm going to start attacking with it. Maybe I should have attacked the first time. I think we're aggro here. Could do a no-value Cutthroat to get a 3/3 on board. I actually like that. Let's use our mana and just play a Hill Giant. I guess since they've effectively locked it down anyway. Oh, we could Fenlurker though. I think I like Fenlurker instead, because then we'll unlock it. So let's go Fenlurker, make him discard, and then splinter the Lurker. Splinter the Geist with the Lurker. Island. I'm going to target this Dungeon Geist. I'm going to sacrifice my Lurker. I'm going to send all. They might double block the Cutthroat, in which case we just drop another. But I want to keep the pressure on. We could just go in the air as well. I feel like with blue, they might... Blue-green, it just feels like our air dominance is at risk. But I think air 2 is probably better than ground 3 in this situation. Oh, yeah, it's true. We can finish the token if we do that. All right, we'll do it. It's worth it. Kills a 2/2. Because we have card draw. We have Soul Salvage. And I want to keep building mana in that case. Like that. I mean, I guess I could have waited, because, yes, if we draw the Soul Salvage, we can play it now. I just don't want to fall behind. Even though we have the Dread Presence... but it's not just about this turn, Gecko. It's about where we're at 5 turns from now, and that I want to be playing mana towards where we're going to be 5 turns from now. And I wasn't feeling like sandbagging land when we only have 4 is correct. Yeah, Vulture first, sure. But if we drew another land, then we can only play 1. And then we do another land after that anyway. Holding 1 is semi-safe, but you are behind. A sequence of plays can easily happen from there where you end up... What? I'm talking and misclicking. This is bad. I'm still not mad because I haven't punted strategy, which is what really bugs me, but that was just a misclick because I'm too chatty here.
With the wild.
Some say I never heard of ya. A rap burglar.
That's all right. We got the shame scoop anyway. kind of want another burglar in somehow, some way on the play. Got a cutthroat. All right, we'll run it back, but kind of want those blood burglars in there somehow. Sorry. Muted so you don't have to hear my chewing. I didn't say anything important, though I rarely do. Come on, you laggy. Gecko, holding a land there puts us one land behind on all of our future plans on that front. I just don't... I can't... Must be nice. Yeah, I just can't bring myself to not play my 5th land because we might draw a Dread Presence. It just feels way more important to me to keep building out land. Yeah, okay, but then let's say we, you know, you haven't convinced me. But I think if I try to think too much about it, I'm just going to screw up again, so let's not do that. All right, well, Weaponsmith maybe needs to go here, but we can't really kill it before they get to kill our beetle, so that's unfortunate. Maybe we just beetle the Weaponsmith because... Or, you know, Bone Splinter beetle the Weaponsmith. It's gonna die to Weaponsmith. But I think I'll Fenlurker while they're low on cards, and then yeah, we can attack and Blade Brand too. Let's try that first. May as well. But they're not going to take it. They're going to take it. So, but you're right. It's worth doing. I'm actually going to go Vulture here. I think we just lose the Beetle, and that's life. They didn't upkeep search for the bow. Maybe they've already got it? Maybe they only have vials. Now, let's see. I think we have to get rid of the Weaponsmith, because if they have a second bow, it really starts to mow down what we've got going. So we're going to 2 for 2 ourselves and get rid of this Weaponsmith. Remind me later. And then we try and race him. right, we get Blade Brand and Vulture, and then we get our own Elemental. Or we get our own Elemental because they decline to block our Vulture. Druid. Ugh, rough. Dread Presence, nice, but we will go Vulture Blade Brand up here. Since we don't have a swamp to leverage that Dread Presence right now. Ugh, wow. Harsh, harsh, harsh. We are as telegraphed on Blade Brand as we can possibly be. The question is, do we want to... I think we wait, because we get a swamp, we get Dread Presence, Blade Branded, Swamp, Kill Geists. So, if they attack here, we'll probably double block the Elemental and just see what happens. And then save Blade Brand plus Dread Presence and get a Swamp to take out the Geists. Yeah, Oppo's deck is pretty nice. I love me a green-blue Elemental flying type situation. They got that going on nicely. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Yeah, we lose both birds, but we killed a Boreal Elemental, and we're hopefully going to get this going. I'm kind of counting on this to get us out of this mess. Maybe not. We're at 12. Well, now we're going to play the Dread Presence and hope it lives. I mean, we could play the Fathom Fleet. I guess we go Fathom Fleet instead. See if we can block on the ground with that. Nah, Gecko, I'm going to wait and we'll do Cutthroat and see if we can use that to trade with the champ, because we got to do some blocking here. Could even wait to try to get the Barkhide, but I really think we need to do this and really hope we get a mountain off the top. Or a mountain, a swamp. Might have to go Dread Presence, Blade Brand, hope we find a swamp off of it, except we need another land anyway. It's got... Oh yeah, we're kind of in... No, let's see. Oh, okay, this is... We gotta do this very carefully. I'm gonna go in full control. Because we need to give Dread Presence Death Touch with the trigger on the stack. And we hope this resolves. I know I clicked all the right things. Let's see if it works. All right, we're back in it. If you tap control once, full control comes up and we'll do it through one click of like no blocks or whatever. So when I click here, full control will go away. Or it should. Weird. Maybe it's doing it for damage. But then, so it goes away. If you want to keep it there, you got to hold control and then hit shift, and then it goes hold full control. And to dismiss that, you hit control again. Oh, sorry. Just hope they don't match a troll. 2 trolls would be rough. 2 druids, okay. No match, even better. Worst card in our deck right now is Island. I'm gonna drop it anyway, play a Thief. Well, no matter what, we can't block with the Elemental without trading it because of the bow. But we may be in a spot where we have to do that. I mean, we're at 8. We can't just sit here taking these attacks. So I gotta say no attacks, and we'll see here. Yeah, we still got Soul Salvage. Yeah, if they don't have Pump and they attack with both, we can trade off both and get to a situation where we have Audacious Thief attacking into a Druid unless they have something. Unless they have that. Again.
Civilization has crept too far.
Can only beat
Tear it
Vivian
down.
once out of 3, I guess.
I'd get out of the way if I were you.
All right, well now we're double blocking here. We get to take out Vivian, except we need a creature or else we lose if we take out Vivian. Or we could gain some life, and then we go to 1. Yeah, Swan can ping Vivian. I'm just trying to figure out if we are chumping with our Thief here. Because we could also, we could swing both and gain 2. I'm not sure Alive a turn is exactly where we want to be. I mean, that doesn't help us that much. Yeah, but I'm gonna send presents. I'm gonna send presents. No, I don't think we need the draw here. I don't think that's true. I'm gonna do this. I'm not sure this line is 100% correct.
I've endured worse.
We get the life.
Of holding this grudge.
I am gonna block. Although maybe we don't block and then we got to try and double block next turn. Yeah, I'm gonna take the 4, which maybe means I was supposed to attack then. Swamp. Not the worst. We're stable, though. I don't think we're attacking with... Yeah, if we... I'm still not in attack with thief space. I don't know. Maybe I'm botching the end of this game here, but I'm going with the heuristical results in my brain that are making sense to me. I mean, often in a situation where your back is up against the wall, you're dead to pump. I mean, you just don't play around it. Pretty much priced into this. Action! Is swamp action. And do we draw? I think we draw, then maybe we can not give up our presence. Well, I'm going to go with the draw, because no matter what, we have the block and trade with the courser. So let's see if we can find something else to block with. The answer is no. But maybe we dug to our soul salvage, and that will help us find a way in this one. Come on, soul salvage. Not this way, deck. Not this way. Not dead yet. And now I gotta play this, because if we draw soul salvage, I want to be sure we have, and a swamp, I want to be sure we can do everything we want. Oh, we can't draw a soul salvage and a swamp, though, of course. Okay. Well, we know we're casting it. Let's just do it and figure out which one, which cards. Got 7 mana total. Fenlurker actually gets pretty big here. But Lich holds the ground. We have only two more swamps left in the deck, so it's not like I think we actually just want Lich and Boreal. Yeah, let's go big in the skies tonight. And I'm going to no-value Cutthroat so that we have something else to block the courser with. Six cards. It's a lot of life to get through. How many? All right, our other Boreals are gone. Might have to go ahead and offer the Lich here just so we have actual attacks. Five, six, seven, eight, nine, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we're dead. Sucks. No, I was still dead. No, because they have trample, and the ping of the bow made it so they had well enough, even with a gain of life. All right, well, Felt a little unlucky to let that one get away. Maybe there was some plays I could have made differently, though. Don't want to chalk it all up to luck. Oppo had a good deck, too. Let's see if we can get a 5th win here before we close out the day. Update the record. I did, Mr. Guy, yes. I still think it sucks. Like, then maybe this thing should be, if you target your own spell with something, go into full control. I don't know. You trust this game, and then it just lets you down sometimes in ways that cost you games, and it kind of sucks. Are you serious? Can we even remotely keep this? We're not casting this anytime soon. A swamp gets us going here. I like the islands for the elemental, but we're not really doing much for quite a bit. I think we have to mulligan. I'm gonna keep 6, ditch a swamp, go find an island. I guess we can find an island on 2. Might as well play the skeleton here. Thank you, Mama. Appreciate that gifting. Skeleton and splinters is nice, but we really want some land here. Would be ideal. Any land and them playing a creature to block with would be lovely. Not quite what I was looking for, but this should help. All right, there's our land. What are we getting rid of? I'm going to say the cutthroat, given the current circumstances, has to go. Could even just... Do we take out the thief now with the bone splinters or threaten it with the lich? I think I'm going to try the lich plan, and then we'll fall back on skelly splinters if this goes horribly awry. You don't want to let them have the card? I mean, but if we bone splinters it now, we're letting them have a card, but we get to keep our bone splinters. So I think I like that for one turn. I will not let them, if they disrupt this plan, then fine. But if they suicide the thief, yeah, see now I'm with you. Now we got to do what we got to do. Oh, where were you, Blade Brand? But yeah, we can't do it. Gonna get rid of this thing while we can. I'll leave the mana up to represent, but we're gonna bring the Skelly back before the end of the turn. Ouch. Oppo getting card advantage is not great for us here. Oh, if I miss some damage, you can pump me for that, but so it goes. That smells Blade Brandy. We're going to ignore it and push out our own flyer agenda. They'll drop a Boreal of their own. Nope. Boneclad. Wow, they went for... Okay, glad I had our skeleton in hand, so they couldn't get rid of this skelly. Play it all. Not loving the card situation. We've got a couple of nice flyers, but they got a fistful up here. I don't see us winning a long game against that kind of card advantage, but maybe we can get there when we get our Blade Brand online and get some value out of that. They're screaming Blade Brand at us, and maybe I just save 3 here. If we get nothing else, we get bring it back, cast it, and have the Blade Brand. So yeah, I'm going to do this. And then our turn, if our plan next turn is to Blade Brand with a skeleton, we can still execute that with all of the mana we have. Oof, Abomination says yes, that is the plan. Uh, 14 to 17, 16, 14, 13, 12, 11. We get them to 11. They get us to 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, maybe 9, 8, 7. Are you still on about the old punt fiddles, or do you think there's a new punt? I think we're going to take a big risk here. Man, if they kill the skeleton, we might just lose. I'm going to attack with 1 elemental. I think if they have Blade Brand, what we need to do here is trade Boreal for the Necromancer and Skelly for the Abomination, and then we're in a pretty good shape on this board. We've just never... I mean, the debate of what constitutes a punt is like the debate about whether something is strictly better or worse. It's like... Seems like it's a debate we can't avoid or ever solve. Yeah, I mean, let's just start talking about what things are sandwiches. Exactly. That's ultimately what I think. Chat is the keepers of the punt, and you decide with your vote, and I just try and let it go. All right. Okay. Do they have anything? No? Zounds! Okay, Cutthroat is what they were on about. I got it. Well... Sorcerer is a little sketchy, but let's see what we got here. 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. We cannot do it all. We can Agonizing something and... We can Siphon and bring the Skelly back. And do we want to Siphon the Sprite? I guess we want to, like, I'm a little worried about Sorcerer. We're just going to lose to Sorcerer. We might need to Siphon there. And it's because they haven't shown removal. So Boreal can hold off the Cutthroat and the Sprite, and we can get our other Boreal going. So I'm going to siphon the Sorcerer, as weird as that may be. Because I think it's actually a bigger danger to our losing this game. Interesting metric, Fiddles. I've never heard the would you cut it in half metric for is it a sandwich? Okay, well, we're going to have to say goodbye to Skeleton because we're not losing our elemental. Well, I've successfully distracted chat. They're not going to worry about my punts anymore. We're going to debate food categorization the rest of today. So they've got 5, 6, 7. They can't get this to 4 yet, so we're safe. We're safe. They haven't shown removal. I'm going to go ahead and risk the elemental attack. Because right now they haven't shown the ability to get through a single 3/4. Gonna make them change that here. Come on, hamburgers were called when hamburgers were invented. They were called hamburger sandwiches. If you want to talk old timey, you want to be like, say, chum, have you tried the new hamburger sandwich? It's, I don't know, what's an old-timey thing for awesome? It's the bee's knees. There we go. My youth? Come on. Maybe my dad's. Well, this can't attack. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now they could get Fenlurker to 4/4, but maybe that's all the more reason we need to keep attacking in the air. Well, they're adding to the ground, but they're not showing the ability to attack still, so I'm going to add to our ground and our ability to block and continue to send in the air. Thing is, if they get the black now, we can just start taking it from the lurker if they want to use up their whole turn to get 4 in. All right, they've got Fenlurker City now. But that's a big ask, and we're going to let him do it this turn and see what we draw before we decide on chumps for the future. Okay, not bad. I just wanted the extra chump there. I feel like they have to... Well, they don't have to chump now. They could chump next turn. We start here, play the burglar, chump, 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 and try and get there on the crackback. They're out of cards, so we're in great shape unless they top deck. They need a literal top deck. One time, not them, dealer. We're seeing a Fen Lurker, but nothing else that demands a bow, so probably not bringing in a bow, just checking that out. I don't see how they pump to win from here, but I'm just going to Burgle Chump. I mean, I could have double blocked and tried to kill it, but plan A is they can't stop all these elementals over 2 turns, so... All right, well, we're going to Fen Lurker and see if we need to hold any of these elementals back. Aha! Yeah, we jam both anyway, but it's good to know what's up. Mike thinks swing 1. I like making them discard both so they don't get to Sailor for value next turn, Mike, and maybe find an answer. Fenor, you're coming up with lovely after-the-fact reasonings. I'm great at looking back at what happened afterwards and deciding what I could have done. Yeah, we survived the crackback. If they don't draw any removal or whatever. I mean, we had them 0 cards, lethal on board. So for them to get out of this is top deck, top deck. So let's see. This can still be biggest. Hope we're not dead. Hope I did math right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's not 9. Oh, is the video sync off? I have a number I can adjust that with. If my words and lips aren't syncing up, let me know and we can mess with that. In fact, here we are out of an event. Or we're in sideboarding, though. But yeah, let me know if my words aren't matching up and we can tweak it. Okay, it's just... looks good for most others, so maybe resync... refresh if it's not synced for you would be the... Well, blocking the servant... basically it didn't matter. Like, either we were winning on the crackback or we were losing the game. So I wasn't thinking through those decisions too much. It was either we were getting through and winning or not. Getting some German lessons in chat. All right, what are we doing in this mirror? We could duress. Do we see... They were actually pretty creature heavy, all things considered. Because it's still just comboing with the cutthroats, and we have they do their work on their own. It's still using up an entire card to hooray, get a card with a cutthroat that you probably were going to get anyway. Yeah, we could do Air Force, but if they have bow, we didn't see a bow, but if they bring them in, We could try a raptor for a burglar and see how that plays. Man, I'm getting some lag today. This is rough. I'm nervous about every one of my clicks. We could also bring in Epicure for going long. Kind of like that even more than the raptor almost. Oh well. Rocky warns me and then I fail to heed. I guess we're running it back, folks. It may be fine. I'm not sure about that raptor swap anyway, so whatever. I'm not sure if our win percentage actually went up or down by me failing to hit submit. But probably not a big distance either way. All right, keep this. We got Blood Burglar and Vulture with Soul Salvage in the deck. Vulture and Soul Salvage is the exciting part. We go ahead and get another island. We have 2 swamps. That lets us play anything. And of course, we want swamps in our library for future Dread Presence work. We're only running 5 islands and Evolving Wilds. So I'm just trying to keep low on islands. And Octoprofit is great if it's guaranteed on 4, but I only wanted to play blue stuff that I was happy to play much later in the game. Perhaps that was nitty, and we'd be fine with an Octoprofit in the deck. But that was my reasoning at the very least. Boy, those wing words, tough to deal with that kind of card advantage. Hopefully we get some back of our own. Get some life back anyway. All right, Vulture, hook us up in the graveyard, please. Decent. We got a Cutthroat and an Elemental out of that. Might Vulture again, though, before we salvage anything. Let's see what Oppo gets. Yeah. Ooh, Thieving. Yeah, with Thief, I guess we'll just do that, though. We'll go with the Thief. And I'm happy to trade off at all anything here, especially given the Thief around the corner. I'm not sure. That's a good question. Maybe they chose to go second, which makes some sense in this very grindy matchup. Speaking of the grind, how about a Thief? Piranhas will be eating a Blade Brand, I'm sure. But might as well send both. Unlikely to block the Burglar, but if they want to, that'd be sweet. All right, we'll drop another Vulture and further fill the yard for our Soul Salvage. Fenlurker, Thief, another Elemental. Might just get a couple Elementals and try to fly our way there. That's nice, though. Let's just go swinging away again. Yeah, damned if you do, damned if you don't, Oppo. That's what I love about the telegraphed Blade Brand. What are you going to do about it anyway? Yeah, I'm in on the Elementals. Let's just get in the air and try and close it out from there. Do we play a land here? We have more land behind, so yeah, I'm going to do it. Didn't they bone to ash us game 1? Thing is, if we don't cast... yeah, that's kind of interesting. Let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7. 6, 5, 4. Well, we could test with Burglar, but I actually kind of like vulturing the Sailor here. I'm down with that. If we Bone Splinters the Sailor, it totally frees up Elemental if they draw cards. Yeah, they know about it. But if we kill the Sailor, they are so compelled to draw cards, and if they don't, then we know for sure that they've got the counterspell, and we'll just not do it. Or we offer them the Blood Burglar if they want. Yep. Yeah, we'll play the Burglar, because they got to do something, right? We could have passed, but I'm going to give him... I'm going to give him the Blood Burglar. Hopefully these elementals are enough. And I'm going to keep the swamps for now. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... I guess if we drew a 3-drop, we would want a double spell, so I'm actually going to play a swamp. It's harsh playing all these swamps ahead of our presence, but it matters, because if we draw a 3-drop, we totally want a Boreal plus the 3-drop. Although, is there anything more telegraphing of I'm trying to disguise the auto tapper's nonsense than manually tapping, leaving 2 up, and passing like that? You know. All right. I mean, maybe they get us here with more servants, but the game is all about our 3 flyers and whether they can do anything about it. You can't actually, Coolio. It's set up so that if you have a known elemental in hand and you draw an unknown one, if you play the unknown one, it will still fix it so that it's still disguised. So you don't have to think about that. Yeah, it has to be an exactly identical card. Nice. Good start to the week. All right, we'll head to soapbox mode, collect our prize. Beautiful. Oh, this is a troll. I practically want to go to the store. Oh man, if it weren't lagging, this would be funny. Let's see, I could get 1 pack just so that I could open 10 at once. Like, I got one pack, we could open 10 at once. Should I do it? No, we use our gold on limited around here. All right. We'll go to our packs and open them up here. All right, one at a time, 9 in a row. Yeah, I'll do some AMA. Robert, if you have 10 packs unopened, a button appears down here that says open 10, and you can open them all at once. Can you talk about how to best build up a gem bankroll, like what you'd do if all your gems disappeared tomorrow morning? Sure. I mean, at that point, you're just back to gold grinding, right? All you can do... I mean... The thing with a poker bankroll is just, you know, it's just because we have this goal of not breaking out our wallet. Bottom line is, if you're free to play and you're not going to bust out your wallet and you run out of gems, well, you're back to playing constructed until you have enough gems to draft. And then you draft and hope that you win so that you win enough gems to draft again, right? I mean, that's all there is to it. And the answer is no, I don't. I don't, as Divor says, the question is basically, do you play differently if you have more money, which you probably don't? I play differently in that I might be more willing to go into higher risk queues. Like, I'll play more best of 3 when we have a healthy total that can withstand a couple of O2s. But I bet if we were clinging to death, clinging to our gems, our gem life, I would switch to best of 1 to slow the rate at which we were giving up gems. Oh, nice, Robert. I did miss that message, so glad you reposted. Glad you had fun. How did you like Yuppie Psycho? It was funny. I had a lot more fun when I was kind of watching Oliver play it and tell him what to do. Like, if you watch me play, like, early on, there's this, stuff is flying at you, you gotta dodge out of the way, and I just got killed by it in like 10 seconds. And that kind of gameplay is just not interesting to me anymore. Like, I am not into the video games to twitch dodge 8-bit graphics being thrown at my sprite character or whatever. It's just not, that's not fun mechanics to me. But but I loved the story, and it's kind of dripping with flavor, so I really enjoyed that part of it, which is what Oliver thought that I would like, that I would dig the story side. We had a great time with Undertale. Oliver, Clara, and I played through Undertale together and had quite a blast. Yeah, like I don't want to be a crappy Twitch game player. I want to be a good strategy game player, and I had a lot of fun though when Oliver took over, and I got to kind of just tell him what to do and enjoy it as a viewer. Kind of takes me back, like some of my earliest memories of Oliver of gaming with Oliver is when he was about 3.5 and Clara was about 5. We were playing Wind Waker on the GameCube, and it was like, I remember having the discussion with my wife. Okay, it's Nintendo violence. I know he's 3.5, but and there is fighting, but there's no blood, and the monsters poof into nothing, and it won't give him nightmares or anything. And so she's like, okay, you can play a combat-based game with him. And Wind Waker with my 3.5-year-old and 5-year-old was great. We had such a blast with that. But same kind of thing. Like in that role, they had way more fun watching me take on the danger while they watched. And now it's flipped. Now I'll watch Oliver take on the danger while I watch. Oh, there's a question I wanted to answer. Oh, Fiddles. We have played Gloomhaven a couple times, but it hasn't really stuck. I'm holding out hope that I'm going to find my Gloomhaven group eventually, but I don't think it's going to be my kids, unfortunately. I mean, Oliver would do it. Clara's kind of done. If she's going to do anything RPG-based, she wants to just do D&D and really get into the role play of it. But Oliver would be down for more Gloomhaven if I just pressed the issue, but I haven't.